leaves Boxer Truth. So the saga continues. We have people now forgetting what really happened, that Terrence Bud Crawford didn't sign the contract. That's why the fight with Errol Spence didn't happen. None of this is Errol Spence's fault when we're talking about right now. Right now, Terrence Crawford seen the opportunity to make an easy $10 million and decided he wasn't going to fight Errol Spence. At this point, Errol Spence didn't have a fight, didn't have a backup plan to a certain extent, and now he's being blamed for the fight not happening. So what Errol Spence is doing, he's saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fight Keith Thurman, the fight that people want to see me, that some people want to see me fight. So I'm going to go ahead and fight Keith Thurman. Not a tune-up fight, because we know Keith Thurman only lost one time, and that's the Manny Pacquiao. That's the only fight he lost. And both of these guys have bad blood. Errol Spence is fighting at 154. I don't know if he'll go and revisit the fight against Terrence Crawford again. That's up to him. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, I know at 154, if he stays at 154, he's going for some belts. Whether that means him fighting Jermell, which I doubt would happen, because to me, Jermell only has one more fight at 154, and he has nothing else to prove, unless he just drops the belts. And if he drops the belts, that just works in Errol Spence's favor. That moves Errol Spence from permanently to 147 to 154. And he gets first grab at them belts, at least one or two of them. And then that leaves Jermell Charlo to grab a belt at 160. Whoever he has to face to grab that belt. And that leaves his brother hopefully moving up to 168. And Boots will be in line right for the 147 pound. It seems like PBC is not playing checkers, they're playing chess. And remember, I'm telling you this first, because this is the way I think it might go. I think it just might go that way. And once again, Bud is out of the loop, not because they put him out of the loop. They gave him a chance to come and break bread and come and, do a fight with PBC on a certain level with the pay-per-view and everything else. But he chose otherwise. Fine. They're going to eat regardless. Jermell's going to eat regardless. Errol Spence is going to eat regardless. Gervonta Tank Davis is going to eat regardless. And guess what? They put Boots in a certain position already. Yeah, they wanted to knock out. He didn't look the best. But guess what? Once he grabs one of them belts and he continues to do what he did, and maybe it was just that guy that's just too tough. And maybe he just needs to tighten up on certain things. But Boots is that guy. Boots is that guy. And he had no problem making 147. So I don't want to hear nobody calling him a weight bully or anything like that, because I believe he came in at 145. But these people just saying don't buy pay-per-view, don't do this. These are people that are not boxing fans. I appreciate that Spence goes out there and fights the top names at 147. I appreciate that. I appreciate him trying to make that fight happen with Terrence Bud Crawford. And Crawford not signing. If you're that confident that you can beat this guy, then it would have happened already. But what Errol Spence is going to do, more than likely, go 154, fight Keith Thurman. More than likely, he can fight him at Cowboy Stadium in April, because he always has that option. Unless you're talking about during football season. But, he always has that option. Fight in April, It'll be a good fight, Keith Thurman, or they can fight in Vegas. But people are going to come out to watch Errol Spence fight. But if he fights in Texas, they're definitely coming out. So yeah, you know, a little bit of the haters are gonna say this, but maybe during the fight or close to the fight, you're gonna hear Terrence Bud Crawford is gonna be in, you know, back in the situation or mentioning their name, or maybe there might be some talks. And if that's the case, then that's even better. Having Errol Spence go from 154 to 147, I don't like it. But if that's the only way that, you know, he's going to get the undisputed and he has a chance to go against Terrence Crawford for the undisputed, then good. So be it. But if Errol Spence is past that and he's not trying to do that, then guess what? Either Terrence Bud Crawford, you're going to go ahead and continue to fight at 147, or you're going to move up yourself and say, hey, Errol Spence, I'm right here too. So we shall see. We shall see what Terrence Crawford's going to do. And what we already pretty much got a feeling that Errol Spence is going to move up to 154 and fight Keith Thurman. So regardless of anything going on and all the bad publicity they're trying to throw on Errol Spence's name, Errol Spence is pretty much doing exactly what he said. Yeah, he said he wouldn't fight Keith Thurman, but when, you know, because his main focus was fighting Terrence Bud Crawford. But since that fight couldn't happen, okay, like he said, he don't want no tune-ups. And if anybody gets on the comment section saying Keith Thurman is a tune-up, they're a lie. They are a lie. Keith Thurman is nobody's tune-up, and that's a fact. He beat Sean Porter and he beat Danny Garcia. The only person he lost to, which I believe he was favored to lose to anyways, was Manny Pacquiao. And that's it. Lee's Boxing Truth. Like, comment, subscribe.